Jim Lebenthal, Joe Terranova, Bryn Talkington, and Jason Snipe. Let's show you what the markets are doing. We're down more than 700 on the Dow, at least 1% declines across the board. We know the two most important stories of the week: the continued fallout from the SCOTUS ruling on the tariffs, the NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday. The president continues to attack the ruling. He continues to attack the court itself. He continues to threaten even higher tariffs. And there still remains a lot of uncertainty over that. However, if you look at financials, if you look at some of the private equity names, if you look at discretionary, which is down a bunch today, anything that saw any level of relief last week is back down today, Jimmy.
Yeah, and you started with the tariffs, Scott, and as we talked about on Friday, this is going to increase uncertainty in the short run, but in the long run, it should actually reduce uncertainty. There does appear to be a cap with these new tariffs of 15%, above which the president can't go. So, yeah, there's a lot of questions over the weekend. Are various countries going to adhere to their deals? That uncertainty will linger, but I think what we're seeing today, Scott, is some of the other issues that were pretty big last week. Continuing concerns about private credit. I think that's what's hanging on to the financials in particular. Let's not forget the State of the Union address tomorrow, and there's a lot that's going to come up in that, not just lambasting the Supreme Court, but the president's going to lay out what his plan is, should lay out what his plan is with Iran, and I think that's hovering over the market as well. So, you know, just those two things alone, concerns about private credit and potentially attacking Iran, those would take top billing if it weren't for the uncertainty increase in the tariffs. Put it all together, there's a lot of uncertainty, Scott.
Yeah, we'll get to some private credit-related things as the show develops today, but all those names are down, and down a lot.
Yeah.
The private equity related names, we're talking 7-8% declines. The major banks like Citi's down 5%, Goldman, JPM are down. Bryn, so it leads me to you on this notion that things that got relief on Friday, and I use it in quotes because it was obviously short-lived for many of these stocks, didn't react the way that you thought they might on this tariff ruling. I think of Nike and I think of On Holding, which you sold both. You sold them, which is interesting to me in that you bought them because you assumed that SCOTUS would rule the way it did, but the stocks didn't react the way you anticipated they might. So now you're out. Tell me more.
Welcome to investing, right? And so, I mean, both great companies, right?